Wow. First stone tools. On July 4th, 1828, Charles Carroll of Carrollton, the last surviving signer of the Declaration of Independence, used these stone tools to lay the first stone of the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. The stone marked the symbol beginning of the first long-distance general-purpose railroad in the United States. Stourbridge Lion. This is all that's left of it. Probably this thing.
This is an emergency brake valve.
I wonder if the turntable still moves.
Look at this itty bitty basin to wash your hands. Huh. Kind of cool.
This looks like the mail hook getter thing. Yes! RPO mail catcher arm.
Leo! Leonardo! Leo!
Coaches like this were used on branch lines and countryside routes where passengers were few. This particular combine car retains segregated or separate sections for African American and white people. Please notice the buttons in front of you and follow along while I explain. Behind you is the baggage section. In this open area, passengers' bags as well as packages and light freight are carried through country towns and stations along the route. Please push and hold the blue button. The lighted cabin before you is the main passenger cabin of this combine car. Please note the rich paneling, stenciled and decorated ceiling, mirror, and the gold leaf lettering. All of this was typical of railroad passenger coaches at the turn of the 20th century. Railroads strove to provide elegant accommodations that were decorated according to the fashion of the day. This cabin, however, was reserved for white and well-to-do passengers only. Please push and hold the green button. The middle compartment of this combine car was known as a partition section. Throughout the last decades of the 19th century and well into the 20th century, many railroads strictly enforced racial segregation laws, forcing African American travelers to sit in separate but not equal sections. Please note that while the seats are the same in both sections, this compartment lacks much of the rich detail and decoration found in the white compartment. Smoking was also permitted in this section for both white and African American passengers, thus contributing to an uncomfortable atmosphere. Racial segregation laws enacted in the late 19th century were known as Jim Crow laws, believed to be named after a song and dance parody of African Americans called Jump Jim Crow that surfaced in the 1830s. Over the years, railroad coaches like this were known as Jim Crow coaches. The first instance that challenged Jim Crow travel accommodations was not Rosa Parks on a Montgomery bus in the 1950s, but rather a shoemaker by the name of Homer Plessy, who took his case to court after being forced to ride in a black compartment on a Louisiana railroad coach in the 1890s. Plessy lost his case. However, the stage was set for decades of social and political argument over racial segregation in America. The official end to racial segregation and Jim Crow practices in the United States came with the Congress's passage of the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
What in the world is this thing? The clearance car number CE15. By 1900, the size of the locomotives was larger than any of the original Baltimore and Ohio railroad engineers had imagined it. In some cases, new locomotives could not fit through tight clearances along original track lines, especially in tunnels. In 1904, the Baltimore, Ohio constructed a clearance car for the Civil Engineering Department. Number CE15 was a car made by placing a caboose body on a flat car as the locomotive slowly pushed the CE15. Any close obstruction pressed against the outstretched limbs, and the crew recorded detailed measurements, sometimes gone for days. The crew of the CE-15 spent many hours in mountain regions of West Virginia measuring long, dark tunnels and bridge clearances. The data was then analyzed to determine whether the tunnel required alterations. Wow, that's actually really interesting. Horsepower rails, yeah. Peter Cooper's Tom Thumb, 1830, Baltimore, Ohio Railroad. Tom Thumb, the first American-built steam engine. The first steam engine used on the Baltimore, Ohio line was an experimental engine known as the Tom Thumb. Designed by Peter Cooper, the engine's inaugural journey carried the directors of the B&O from Baltimore to Elcott's Mills on August 28, 1830. Built at Mount Clair shops in the nearby Canton, the engine really did not have a name when first used, and often called the tea kettle. Cooper was the inventor and philanthropist from New York. He held many patents, including one for the gelatin that would be sold to a company that created instant gelatin, most commonly known as Jell-O. He's probably best known for forming a college known as Cooper Union in the 1850s, with the premise of being that a college education should be free. Today, Cooper Union is recognized one of the leading American colleges in the fields of architecture, engineering, and art. There is much debate on whether a race occurred with a horse-drawn rail car and the Tom Thumb. As rumor goes, the Tom Thumb came upon a horse-drawn cart on the return trip from Ellicott Mills, and a race ensued. The horse is supposed to have won because the Tom Thumb broke down. No direct evidence has ever been found to determine if the race actually took place. In fact, the first details of the story came from the speech by Benjamin Latrobe in 1868. While we may never know the truth, the story is great to emphasize a period in America's history, a profound change taking place during the industrial and transportation revolutions in the early 19th century. Look at this little one. York, 1831. The York. The York was one of the first coal-burning steam locomotives successfully demonstrated in the United States. The imaginative creation of watchmaker Phineas Davis easily won the B&O's 1831 locomotive contest as Davis secured the $4,000 prize and a position designing locomotives for the railroad. The York's design represented an important technological advancement for the use of steam-driven cylinders and crankshaft to move horizontal rod that was connected to move the locomotive wheels drivers. After some modifications, the York was pressed into service on the new B&O line from Baltimore in 1831. It served as the model for the vertical boiler locomotives designed by Davis that were known as grasshoppers for their resemblance to the spiny-legged insect. The grasshoppers could easily travel at speeds up to 30 miles per hour as far as 80 miles at a time before running out of fuel. The York and other grasshoppers were soon overtaken by more powerful horizontal boiler locomotives. They were eventually set aside for switching service. Production of grasshoppers ceased altogether in 1837 after only 6 were built. Tragically, the life of Phineas Davis was cut short on September 27, 1835, when he was crushed in a derailment of a grasshopper locomotive he was demonstrating on the Baltimore, Ohio, recently opened Washington branch. The engine before you is a reproduction of the York built by the Baltimore, Ohio in 1926 to 27 at Mount Ware shops for the 100th anniversary celebration of the founding of the B&O. As far as the Fair of the Iron Horse, along with the Tom Thumb and the Lafayette, the York was intended to show advances in steam locomotive technology. The York was donated to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago in 1933 and recently displayed in York, Pennsylvania. It was acquired by the B&O Museum in 2015. Wow, so I guess it still technically could work. Look at these. Crabs and grasshoppers. The Baltimore, Ohio needed a heavier locomotive that was small, had a low center of gravity, and could pull a moderate-sized load. It held a contest to see who could build an engine to meet these requirements. Phineas Davis, a watchmaker from York, Pennsylvania, built the winning entry appropriately called the York. The York met these requirements and became the B&O's first regular operating steam engine. The York weighed only 3.5 tons but could pull cars at a top speed of 30 miles per hour. Pull 4 cars at a top speed of 30 miles per hour. Unfortunately, it was still too light for reliable service and was retired after 1 year. Heavier engines with similar designs soon entered service. These new engines were called grasshoppers because of their vertical motion of their driving pistons and rods to remind people of the way grasshoppers move. In a typical Maryland fashion, the B&O nicknamed 2 engines crabs because of their side rods' side-to-side motion reminded people of the way crabs move. By 1838, the B&O had 14 grasshoppers and 2 crab-type engines. The railroad named many of the early engines after America's first presidents, including Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, and J.Q. Adams. Each engine weighed 7.5 to 8.5 tons and could reach speeds of 30 miles per hour. Later models had more pulling power and could pull loads weighing over 220 tons. These engines consisted of upright boilers that limited their side and speed. However, they proved so durable that most were still in service 30 years after their introduction. 5 remained in service 50 years later, and 4 grasshoppers still in service in the 1890s, serving mainly as yard switchers, breaking apart freight trains and moving cars around the yard. Now, I wish you could see these move. These would be really cool. Wow, look at that itty bitty little guy. The Lafayette. Yeah.
Hey, Leo!
Are those just bathrooms in there?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I'm gonna go use
I have to say, I think this is the first time I've ever seen these in real life.
They also have the Underground Railroad.
Henry perilous 27-hour journey took place inside of a small cargo box measuring only 3 by 2 by 2.5 feet. Crouched in a fetal position, Brown remained quiet and still to avoid detection. He brought with him only a few items: a bladder of water, some biscuits, and a hand drill in case he needed to create additional air holes. Outside of the box was marked with a shipping address and the words, "This side up with care."
What's that?
This is how this gentleman named Henry traveled a 27-hour journey in a box like that.
Wow.
These are all people who journeyed through this site. But this one's really sad. It says that Henry Box Brown, this unnamed pregnant woman, decided to ship herself in a box. And the box flipped several times. An undertaker was there just in case in Philadelphia that she may not have survived. But luckily she survived. And then she still continued her trip to Canada. But they don't know if she made it or if her child survived.
Oh, wow.
That's all they know about her.
And down on the box they did He was then set free from his pain. Brown laid down the shovel and the hoe. Down in the box he did go. Said no more slave work for Henry Box Brown. In the box by express he did go. So no more slave work for Henry Box Brown. In the box by express he don't go.
You can start it again if there's a button right there.
That's the one.
Yes, Henry Box Brown.
Yep, that's the one with the flash. Wanna press the other one? That button.
Just hold on to it, sir. Oh, I can't reach it.
What's that? There.
We'll wait for you here, Joyce. Yeah, wait for Grandma.
I wonder what these things are. Oh. E&O number 21, passenger car, 1868. Wow. Oh, you can only look in it. Excuse me, does the turntable still work?
It does. So it's
completely manual, turned by hand.
Wow.
We do demonstrations from time to time.
Oh,
so
cool.
when we have one scheduled, it'll be on our website. We have a calendar.
Really
Yeah.
neat. That's very cool. I didn't know it was turned by hand. That's really old.
Yeah. The building is 1884.
Wow. Cool. Now I gotta make sure I find the date when it's gonna do that. Oh, a shade train. Look at it go! Oh, wow! Look at the cute little model railroad. And it's, oh wait, do I have to push a button? Okay, now it's bright. It's just not working.
Actually, Miss Ruth needs some like trash bags. I don't know if you could like take them over to her over there. She's gonna be at the pavilions right under here. She needs some trash bags over there. That's the kids. That's where the kids gonna eat at. I'm gonna take this back though. Oh, this one too? Oh, okay.
Video killed the radio star. Video killed the radio star. The Jews came and broke your heart. Wow! Look at the size of that thing! So, there's something down this way, but in there is what is like, I think is the steam train he's looking for. It's a big yellow one.
Oh.
Watch for moving train. What?
Auto train in there.
Oh, there it goes. Oh, there's a little one moving. Oh, there it goes. Oh, the little one up there moves. Oh, here it comes. look at that. The crane works. Oh, that crane works too.
Wow.
This one's really nice. And there's little, like, the little trains over there move. If you come over here, at the dock, the cranes move, the cranes go up and down.
Oh, look at the little trains going around. Oh, this is really beautiful.
This is really well done.
Oh my gosh. Huh. Did you see that huge,
Yellow steam train?
yeah,
That's the one I think he was looking for.
that's the, I hope he found it. Hey, Leah?
Look at this. You can go inside the freezer car. Oh, it's not cold though.
Number of manifolds where carbon dioxide would be pumped in.
Cool.
The CO2, or carbon dioxide, would travel up to the bunker, built into the ceiling,
Huh.
which would fill with the gas and transform into
Wow.
snow.
Snow.
The walls and floor have a series of openings and channels that allow the cold gases to circulate.
Oh, look, it's right there.
Yeah, look, the channeled floor, look.
Yeah, but right here, if you step on, look at the holes for the air to come up.
Mm-hmm.
As early as 1842, a new type of insulated boxcar was advertised that could preserve poultry and butter on the railroad across long distances.
Ah,
Over the next 20 years, various companies and railroads experimented with insulating boxcars to preserve goods. Seafood distributors in the East wanted the ability to expand their business to the Midwestern states. Likewise, the great meat packers and distributors of the Midwest wanted to ship their products east and expand their customer base. It was not until Chicago...
You never really expect to see how big they are. You never expect to know to see how big they are until like you actually step in it. Dinner in the diner exhibit Railroad China.
but this is a theater car. Oh, so you can watch things. Like gondola, she's reading books.
Oh, stuff that they would ship.
Huh. Well, look,
Ah,
tank car. So this is where you get like all your
alcohol, chemicals,
look,
motor
look,
oil.
look, fertilizer in the hopper.
Flatbeds, trucks, cars, pipes, and
And
lumber.
then you have boxcar with sugar and fruits and vegetables.
And like electronics and other small goods.
Huh. Basically, it's an 18-wheeler on the track.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, we have to
Whoa.
go out the same way we came in.
Oh, okay.
These are pretty. Wow, look at that one spoon in the middle.
Well, I think that was for grapefruit. Because it's kind of tapered, so if you're eating grapefruit. But look, it looks like, I love this stuff, look. It's done, but with trains in it. It's like my grandmother's china, but it's done with trains in it. Hi, look, New York City. New York Central. Whoa!
Pattern, Mercury, manufacturer, Syracuse. Oh my gosh, look, Deer Park Springwater is that old.
Huh! Interesting. Wow.
I didn't know Deer Park. Oh!
What happened?
Dealing with racism. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to read it, but I think it was talking about how most railroad industries, the porters were black. And I don't even think they could have afforded to ride the train. Courteous, reliable, and precise, the B&O waiters were recognized a recognizable face of the railroad's dining car service. A friendly smile, the staff, neat, clean, pressed uniforms served finest fare on the B&O had to offer. The B&O waiter, Reverend James Kears, considered it a privilege to assist passengers for the railroad. He received impeccable training and worked in an exacting world where the railroad waiters were expected to keep their shoes polished, pants pressed, hair groomed, and fingernails clean. Many served as a career employees with 20 or 30 more years in dedicated service. Their smiles were seen as part of the uniform, often hid long hours spending on their feet serving thousands of hungry travelers. In addition to waiting tables, waiters were responsible for cleaning and setting tables before and between meals, placing tablecloth, napkin. Oh, someone's calling me.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I missed it. Hello? 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 Hey Leonardo, we're coming back. We just looked at the frozen, the ice train car and the dining car setup, and we're on our way back. I hope you got to see that big steam engine. I bet that was the one you were looking for. Oh, look at the cute little caboose. Oh.
Welcome to the B&O's 2222 caboose. Only in America did a cook stove turn into a railroad car. That was the fate of...
Oh, they have an Allegheny here.
Yeah, it's inside.
References as far back
I'll show you where it is. It's next to the freedom.
The life of a railroad engineer. The word ultimately comes from the Dutch. Long before railroads, a caboose was the name for a cook stove on a sailing ship. Meanwhile, on land, caboose was occasionally used to mean a small dwelling or shack. There is an 1839 congressional reference to the little caboose in Baltimore. By the time of the Civil War, these little shacks on wheels were named after the cook stove that served the train crew and kept the little car warm. Railroad cabooses served many functions. They provided a place for freight conductors to complete paperwork, and train crews with a place to eat, sleep, rest, store tools, and observe operations of the train ahead. Early cabooses were actually brown or brownish-red in color. It wasn't until the 20th century that the bathroom color became common. Located at the end of freight trains, the red color visually identified the end of the train.
I'll show you where it is.
This caboose was built in 1929 and served the B&O Railroad until its retirement in 1975.
Wow.
Cabooses are no longer needed on modern trains today, Instead, flashing rear-end devices known as frames taken the place of this classic railroading icon. Feel free to climb up to the cupola seats, look through the windows. How far can you see? What do you think living in a caboose car with 2 or 3 other members would be like? Be careful now, and as always, stop, look, and listen.
Wow. You son of a bitch. Fuck you, Shanshrew. Oh. Where's the Allegheny?
Right here. It's red. You go up on top.
Chesapeake and Ohio.
Jersey Central line.
Wow.
This is the Allegheny.
Yeah, this is one of the largest trains ever made. C&O number 1604, Allegheny. 2 days after the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway received its first 2 666 Allegheny type locomotive. The C&O adorned the mammoth steamers with the name Allegheny for the West Virginia mountains they climbed, pulling heavy coal trains at 15 miles per hour. During World War II, these locomotives hauled soldiers and military supplies, capable of reaching speeds of 70 miles per hour or more, pulling passenger trains during the war. The Alleghenies were considered the finest steam locomotives ever produced by Lima. Eventually, 60 Alleghenies were in operation for the C&O. The first were retired in 1952. Some survived until 1956, pulling secondary passenger trains. But the C&O retired all by the end of the year. Number 1604 was one of the 2 escaped scrapping.
Oh.
There's only 2 left.
And it's right behind you.
All 3.
So huge.
Yeah, and it's 1 inch less than the big boy.
Really, it beats the big boy. The big boy beats it by an inch.
Yeah, by an inch.
I mean, if you really want to split hairs.
By an inch. By that single inch.
That's why I said you really want to split hairs. Wow, look at that Domino sugar train. I guess it must work on the factory.
Oh yeah, this train they just got it back 3 years ago
Wow.
after refurbishing. You can go inside.
The Allegheny.
I mean, when you see these trains that are just bigger than a house, they're just amazing to see in person.
most trains are bigger than a house.
Not all. The little York ones were really tiny.
You can go inside them. It needed 4 people to operate this single train.
Wow.
This needed 4 people to operate in order for this thing to move. In order for this thing to move, you had to have 4 people. You had to have 2 brakemen, and then the 1 driver, and then the 1 fireman. Like, that's how heavy this train was. You had to have 4 people with it. Hey, Matt. Dear future me, just feel free to touch and play, but remember, just like another genius to survive another day. Live a life of cat under constant video surveillance.
As in, you can touch it, you can play with it, just don't break it.
Just don't break it. You do know you could curse on YouTube, right?
What? Say fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Hey, can you pull that throttle?
Just do that. Just finish this guy off for me.
Oh, how come you could pull it?
Shit.
Yo, what's our PSI rate?
Or pounds per square inch.
Yeah, pounds per square inch. What's our PSI?
I don't know, because there wouldn't be any pressure.
Oh man, they don't have the whistle. They removed the whistle. How dare they? They removed all the whistles. How could they? That's the whole point of a train, to have a whistle.
Well, it doesn't have any steam to do it, so.
Toot toot. Meow meow. Hey Matt.
Mm-hmm.
Meow meow mother.
Meow, meow, motherfucker. Mother. Boop. Meow, motherfucker.
Let us go.
What's this first electric train of sorts?
Right here. This one up here. They call it fire locomotive. They first saw that. They built up a secret hot water and it goes like that.
Oh, yeah. A fireless locomotive. They could also be filled with compressed air. Fuck yeah. Wait, what the fuck? fuck is the name of this thing? Wow, look at that beautiful Mikado. Wow, this Mark one is very pretty. I think it's locked.
I don't think it is. Let's count it.
I think that one's a museum car. I think that one's supposed to be, they said, I think the sign says it's someone's private office car.
Oh, nice.
Wow. And the kids are screaming like they saw a ghost. far as I know, they're not running today.
They're not running?
Nah, I pressed all the buttons. I didn't see anything move. I don't know if maybe they've turned it on, but I didn't see any move when I tried it out earlier.